Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Colonial Impact Wrestling. My name's The Colonist, and today is the first of two Money in the Bank winner matches, just regular friendly competition from the four Money in the Bank qualifying winners, Symbiote Spiderman versus Bruce Lee, and tomorrow you're going to see Sagat versus Simon Belmont in regular one-on-one action. Just decided to keep it a little relaxed. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on in CIW at the moment, but every so often you just need to take a step back, enjoy what you're doing, you know, embrace the ambiance of what it is that you're trying to accomplish with CIW, and that's really the wrestling. So, just some friendly competition, no big animosity or anything between these two guys. Actually, Symbiote Spider-Man and Bruce Lee are actually decent friends. I mean, Bruce Lee, the Canadian Asian, and Symbiote Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire from New York. And it occurred to me, because this is going to be very specific, so if you guys don't watch the Magnation, then you won't really understand what I'm about to say, but if you do, so I'm like, oh, well, fine, go ahead, here comes Spider-Man. I think that Symbiote Spider-Man is one of the most over people. Every time he comes out, he gets the biggest pop of literally anybody else on the roster. For some reason, CIW loves to see Tobey Maguire get his due. And here's the fun fact. So I'm like 2.5 days worth of footage behind on watching the Magnation, which is terrible because I'm such a devoted fan. I love their stuff. Yeah, you know how far back I am? I'm at bragging rights, okay? But it occurred to me because I was watching the other day the 6-man qualifying ladder match from Trevor from Magnation Blue to get into the 7-on-7 match, and it occurred to me because Spider-Man at that point, the Amazing Spider-Man at that point, was like 1-8 or 1-9 or something like that. And anyway, here comes Bruce Lee, and I'll then finish what I'm saying.
And the opponent from Canada, the Bruiser.
So my point beyond that is at that time, CIW had only had a couple videos, but Symbiote Spider-Man was 1-0 at the time, and that was back in March, right before my birthday, which was March 5th, which we had a video on that day. But it occurred to me that Tobey Maguire had a better record than the Amazing Spider-Man. So, suck it, Andrew Garfield. Tobey Maguire won, you 1-8. So, take that. Just thought I would just throw that little pot shot out there because, you know what? I don't hate Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. I hate him in the third movie because he looks like a jackass. But the first two, not bad. Solid movies. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't hate Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man either. I just think that Tobey Maguire gets way more shit than he deserves. So the fact that Tobey Maguire, and I think Tobey Maguire, as far as I know, I believe he's now 3-2 or something like that. He's still got a pretty decent record. And of course, I'm still 2.5 days behind on footage, so obviously I could be wrong, and Spider-Man could have made an amazing comeback, no pun intended. I kind of doubt it, but you never know. Magnation Blue was, I hope it still is, the land of opportunity. Maybe unwarranted opportunities, but opportunities nonetheless. So, who knows. Anyway, back to this match. The battle between two XYZ competitors, and here we go. Arm drag takedown to start out by Spider-Man. Bruce Lee has won 2 matches in his entire career. He's 2-3 or 4, I think. I really need to do the stat books a lot better. I need to do like a whole day of bookkeeping. While I'm watching the Magnation, I'll just do a ton of bookkeeping. And now, what the hell was that? Spider-Man showing his flexibility in whatever that move was. And Bruce Lee, but the 2 wins he had, win number 1 was the Eliminator match, where he beat Magus in a submission match, which was a fantastic match, one of my favorites in CIW. Referee Kevin James assigned to the contest, and now Bruce Lee wrenching the leg of Spider-Man. Is Spider-Man going to tap out? And then the other match that Bruce Lee won was the qualifier, the ladder qualifier to get in this match, which was Bruce Lee, Frozone, the returning Frozone, and Johnny Cage. It was supposed to be Ken Masters, but Packard was kind enough to fuck that up for us, so thank you, Packard. So you know what I always wondered, though, about Bruce Lee? Is like, Bruce Lee killed Chuck Norris in The Way of the Dragon, right? Remember that KGB commercial where it was like 542, 542, and you called the number? By the way, is that still even around? Do people even do that anymore, or is that just completely out of business? Because they used to have it, but they charged like $15 a question. That was, no, because they absolutely, like, they said, oh, roll up, is this going to do it? We got 1, 2, and no. But they charged like a copious amount for a question, and I'd only asked like a question a month. And they charged a ton onto the cell phone bill, or at least so I was told by the person who pays my cell phone bill. So I had to get rid of it, but it was a very interesting, and I would always ask it wrestling questions. Now, Chicken Wing Crossface by Spider-Man. Is Spider-Man going to get Bruce Lee to tap out here? Bruce Lee, shades of Bob Backlund there by Spider-Man. I don't know if Bob Backlund and Spider-Man know each other. I mean, I don't know if Tobey Maguire and Bob Backlund even know that each other exists. And, I wonder what Tobey Maguire's doing now. I mean, he had the Great Gatsby. That's pretty much it. I mean, oh, well, obviously he's competing in here. This is the actual Tobey Maguire. Because he literally just does not have any acting career anymore. It's just done. He's over. So he's coming to compete in CIW. So that's what Tobey Maguire's been up to. Bruce Lee with a knife-edge chop. Went for a standing moonsault. Kind of got it. Oh! What a thrust kick to the dome by Bruce Lee. Holy crap. And another one. And that, I think that was actually the game of death right there. And instead of going for a cover, Bruce Lee going to work on the legs again. He has repeatedly gone after the legs, now wrenching the legs again. Is Spider-Man going to tap out here? And you got to admit, this is a smart strategy on behalf of Bruce Lee, who's been showing some good mix of technical wrestling and martial arts. And it makes sense for Bruce Lee to target the legs. I mean, Spider-Man, he does jump around a lot. He does a lot of flippy shit. And, you know, he flies around the city, but he uses his legs. You know, his legs are what makes him so agile. You take that out of the equation, and it's easy pickings for Bruce Lee. And now standoff, drop toe hold, again, exploiting the legs and also the rest of the body. And now a kick to the gut and then runs away. Solid by Bruce Lee. And Bruce Lee's been putting a very good showing here against Spider-Man, who's had a very good showing just overall in the in CIW. Now a hammerlock. I feel like the one who has more of an advantage is Spider-Man, just because he's come up. He's had a lot of good matches. He's won a lot of good matches. But on that same token, though, Bruce Lee came clutch when he needed to come in clutch. And now it looks like a cross arm breaker. And rope break. So there was no... There's another standing moonsault. Dodged by Spider-Man. And Bruce Lee really been dominating most of this match. I gotta say, another knife-edge chop. Spider-Man not been able to mount that much offense. And now stomping the legs again is Bruce Lee. And Spider-Man needs to make some sort of offensive comeback here if he wants to win this match. This has been a solid match so far between the two of these guys. And now, oh, and another game of death. And that could have knocked Spider-Man completely out. But it didn't. Spider-Man resilient. We saw that in the opening CIW match. When he and the Prince of Persia put on a hell of a show. Probably one of the best we've seen. In CIW was the debut match. That was a hell of a match. And a DDT. Vicious DDT by Bruce Lee. And Bruce Lee just lining him up. Oh! Holy shit! Oh my god! Dude! No! Oh my god! Holy shit! What a match! Spider-Man will not say die. A variation on the game of death there from Bruce Lee. He's got the fucking head kicked in 3 times and still has kicked out every single time. Gotta hand it to Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire is resilient. And Spider-Man a good 7 or 8 inches taller than Bruce Lee. But Bruce Lee has been manhandling Spider-Man this entire match. And Spider-Man just trying to mount some offense here, which is becoming exceptionally difficult to do because Bruce Lee, he'll stay on you. You know, he's not going to give you any time to breathe if he can help it at all. Bruce Lee's going to make sure that he stays right on top of you the whole match. And that's, again, stomping on the legs. This has been a very methodical attack by Bruce Lee this whole match. It's been very impressive. I've been thoroughly impressed by Bruce Lee in this match. This is the best outing I'd say we've seen Bruce Lee give. Spinning heel kick there. And here comes another game of death. That's got to do it. That's got to be it. Spider-Man, it was a good fight. You gave it your all. 1, 2, and 3. Bruce Lee with a strong outing. An extremely strong outing. And I'm impressed. I am impressed by Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee hot going into this Money in the Bank match. And I think Bruce Lee, people were underestimating him. I seriously think that people were not giving him the credit that he felt he deserved, so he needed to step up his game. And, I mean, as you saw, he absolutely did. Bruce Lee, the Canadian crippler. Bruce Lee. The Canadian crippler, Bruce Lee, taking out Symbiote Spider-Man in what I would say is an upset. I would say that's definitely an upset. So, your Elsno tweet of the day. Waffles are just pancakes with abs. Alright. Elsno, what the hell are you doing? Alright, my name's The Colonist. We'll see you next time, everybody.